Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course on Affiliate Marketing 101. Now, while we will be talking about the basics, we'll also talk about some advanced strategies at the end of the video course. But before you can get there, you need to understand the basic fundamentals of affiliate marketing, what's true, what's not, what's reality, and what's hyped up. And sometimes hype can be reality, but it's just multiplied by 10 times. So my goal in the beginning here is to kind of bring you back to reality. And that's why we're going to talk about mindset first. So in the making of this video course, I want to make sure that you have the most realistic view of affiliate marketing without all the hype, so that we can ensure that you are in the right mindset before we get started. And I'm a big believer of talking about mindset before we jump into the actual concepts and the fundamentals and all that, so that makes you absorb data in a more effective way. Now, the reality is that with affiliate marketing, there's a lot of hustle. And what I mean by that is that you're going to have to do a lot of work. You're not going to do as much work compared to that of a vendor, but there's still a lot of work involved. And as long as you know that this is a real business, this is not a side thing, this is a real business, and that you understand also that you don't want to focus or get too attached to one specific product that you're promoting as an affiliate, and you're flexible, I think that's a better word, then that will help you succeed more. So as long as you understand that, you kind of need to have the mindset of, okay, let's just go with the flow. Let's just see what happens. It works, it doesn't. We learn from it, we move forward. All right. So not every product that you test is going to work. Sometimes you'll have to test 5 products and it's not going to work. But then you'll find that one product that converts like crazy, and it'll typically make up for all the products that did not work. And I want you to understand that there's a lot of opportunity out there and a lot of money to be made in this industry, regardless of what niche it is. But at the same time, even though there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of money to be made, there's a lot of time to be lost as well. So now what I want to do is give you a quick overview of what's inside this video course, so you know exactly what to expect, and that way you're going to be able to implement everything faster, and you're going to be able to see all the pieces of the puzzle. So obviously this is video number 1, which is the introduction to the affiliate lifestyle. Video number 2 is going to be about what affiliate marketing really looks like. So we're going to bring you back to reality. And video number 3, we're going to talk about the advantages. Video number 4, the disadvantages. Video number 5, types of affiliate marketing, different payment structures and all that. And video number 6, we'll talk about reviewing the product. Now, while this seems basic, 90% of affiliates that we've watched actually don't do this. And by not doing this and skipping this process, you actually lose out on your conversion rate. And we'll show you why. And video number 7, we'll talk about incentivized bonuses, which is an advanced strategy. And video number 8, we'll talk about how to go from affiliates to private deals, which allows you to make more money. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2 and talk about what affiliate marketing really looks like. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, and in this particular video, we're going to talk about what affiliate marketing really looks like. So up until now, you've probably seen the hype out on the internet telling you how rich you are going to be. You might have seen all the screenshots that other super affiliates have made and all that. But the key here is not to put those expectations as reality before it actually happens, right? Or else you won't really go anywhere. It's kind of like going to a movie and expecting it's going to be the greatest movie ever, and then when you watch it, you realize that it's really hyped up, the trailer was hyped up and all that, and then you become discouraged, right? So what ends up happening is you become discouraged, and that seeps into your mindset, and that actually, unfortunately, sets you up for failure. And I don't want that. I want you to be starting with reality first. And that's the reason why a lot of affiliates, when they go into affiliate marketing, they don't do real well. It's because they have that mindset. And like I said in the previous video, sometimes you'll test 5 or even 10 products and you might make a couple $100 here and there, but it's not really what you expected it to be, right? So that's why it's better to go into this expecting nothing. I mean, expect that you will react how it goes, what happens, and you'll just move forward, right? So I will say that while some of the hype is true, some of it's not, affiliate marketing is just like any other business. And you might be thinking, yeah, I know. But I really want to harp on this because most people don't realize that it actually affects their mindset, not now as you're beginning to start, but 75% through when the going gets rough and things get tough. So the point I'm trying to make here is that businesses take time to build. So don't worry if you're learning things and you're not getting it right the first time. Affiliate marketing, obviously, compared to creating your own product as a vendor, there's a faster rate of you actually making a profit than starting your own product. Product creation takes time. Not only that, you have to do customer support. You have to do a lot more than affiliate marketing. With that said, affiliate marketing is a little bit riskier in that sense, primarily because at the end of the day, you do not own the product. Now, how is that riskier? Well, in other words, what happens is the vendor could take down the product. And then if you've invested all this time and money into promoting their product and you haven't found other products that are similar, then that campaign is done. So that's why it's a little bit more riskier, because you are in certain respects relying on the vendor. So in other words, you need to find good vendors that will actually be there, vendors that are long-term, vendors that do not really have a short-term mindset. And in addition to that, you need to find good products as well, right? You need to make sure that the people selling these products are ethical as well. Are they going to be in business for a long time? Or are they doing a lot of things under the table or all that, and maybe they're building their business on quicksand, essentially? So if that's the case, by you promoting their product, you're also building your business on quicksand as well. So you need to make sure you either have good vendors or you do affiliate marketing in such a way that it will be long term. So you need to make sure that they also have good customer support for their customers. One thing that we found over the years is that some vendors, they have a really good product, but they don't have good customer service. So what ended up happening was we would send 100 sales, and out of those 100 sales, 50% of the people would refund, and that was not good, right? Because they did not have good customer support. And once we figured that out, we didn't promote them again. So that's why as a vendor, you need to make sure you have everything lined up so that you have affiliates constantly promoting it for you. You need to take care of your affiliates. On the flip side, as an affiliate, you need to look for vendors like that. Because like I said, as you can imagine, the refund rate is high when you don't have good customer support and all that. And you might spend money as an affiliate to acquire that customer, right? And if they refund and they have a higher refund rate, you have lost a good amount of money or a good amount of time. So that's why in my first video I talked about how you should not become attached to one product. Because if the vendor were to take it down, or you find out that it has a higher refund rate and you've become attached to that one product and you love it and everything like that, then you'll feel like, wow, I spent all this time and money, all this, and the vendor took it down, and you start feeling remorseful, you start feeling angry, and then it seeps into your business. Now, I'm going to show you later down the road in the other videos in this course, I'm going to show you how to protect yourself as far as that goes. What do you do when a product goes away? what do you do if there are not really multiple products that are similar? So we'll talk about that and how you can find profitable products and make sure that it is a long-term venture or not. Now, in terms of what happens if the vendor decides to totally take the product down, what you could do to combat the loss of potential traffic, if you have traffic going to that offer, is you want to definitely create links that can be redirected elsewhere. So obviously you don't want to direct people directly to your affiliate link. You want to cloak it using something like clickmeter.com or something similar like Bitly, and use that to direct the traffic to your affiliate link, so that if anything happens, you can always change that link to something else. So that's one little tip that I'm talking about now, but we'll talk more about it later down the road. Now, keep in mind that affiliate marketing is very profitable and I love every bit of it. However, it definitely takes a certain type of person to be successful, and that person must be able to persevere no matter what. If you have the thinking, I want to win, I want to get the winning product out of the gate, that's not going to happen. That might happen 1 out of 100, but very rarely does that ever happen. But if you go into this thinking, okay, I got to test 10 different products and that's fine. I'm going to learn something new as I test these 10 different products along the way. I'm going to find golden nuggets. If you have that kind of mindset, you're going to be more likely to be the person that succeeds. That said, the beauty of affiliate marketing is that, of course, you don't have to do as much as the vendor does. So therefore, as you begin to earn money, you can take more vacations. You don't have to worry about checking customer support or doing everything that a vendor would have to do. So in other words, there's a little bit more freedom. However, there's a lot of risk because at the end of the day, you're relying on the vendor and you're not the vendor. But when it comes to affiliate marketing, I will say that it is very rewarding if you know what to look for. And that's the goal of this video course, to help prep you for that. So with that said, let's jump in and talk about the advantages of affiliate marketing, so that by the end of the middle of the video course, you will have a better realistic idea of how things work, so that you can be better prepared and can make a better informed decision. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3, and let's talk about the advantages of affiliate marketing. So we briefly discussed a little bit about this before, but the beauty of affiliate marketing is that you don't have to do everything that the vendor does. And that includes the following. For number 1 is you don't have to provide customer support extensively. You do have to provide a little bit of customer support, especially if you offer a bonus. Bonus meaning somebody gets it for free if they buy through your affiliate link. So it's an incentive to buy through your affiliate link. However, that said, that kind of customer support isn't extensive, meaning that it's not complex at all. You can either do it yourself or you can hire somebody to do it for you. And typically in that case, you don't need somebody who has the ability to troubleshoot really rapidly. So in other words, it's a lot easier to find these people or do it yourself. And we'll talk more about bonuses and how they can help you convert more sales and ultimately beat your competition. And by competition, I'm talking about other affiliates that are selling the same product. But other than that, you don't really have a lot of support compared to that of the vendor. Another advantage is this: you don't have to update the product. I mean, think about it. This is a huge one. In fact, as a vendor, a lot of times you have to update the product, right? If it's a software, you have to update the features and make sure that it's compatible with everybody's computer and makes it work. If it's a video course, you need to make sure that the content is updated and not outdated. Or if it's an ebook or a content piece, same thing. And the thing about affiliate marketing is you don't have to worry about any of that. And that's the beauty. Another great advantage is that it takes less money to actually get started. You do need a little bit amount of money, but not a lot. But that amount of money needs to be focused on, number 1, reviewing the product. Number 2, traffic and making sales. Number 3, it could be landing pages, setting up landing pages, web hosting, domains, items that you use in your videos, things like that. But there's basically not a lot of overhead as far as that goes. So you don't need to have a lot of money, but you do need a little bit amount of money and some basic expenses. Another advantage is promoting somebody else's products can usually take days or weeks max. And I say max because a lot of times it can take days or even a day or less than a day. So with affiliate marketing, usually the process goes like this. You look at somebody's product, you find it, you buy it, you review the product, you figure out why somebody would want to buy that product, and then you figure out the weaknesses, the strengths, everything about it. You create your bonus, and then you set up your own review site. And then you can focus on traffic and conversions and all that. But usually at the end of the day, after setting up your bonus, incentivize, landing page and all that, that usually only takes about a day or a few days, honestly. Now, there is a learning curve. Of course, you're going to need to master or get a better idea on how to drive traffic, or you're going to need to hire somebody that really understands that area. But at the end of the day, that's really all you need to have. Once you master traffic, in fact, you can sell your own products. So there are many different traffic sources that you can use. You can use paid traffic. You can use search engine optimization, which is ranking on Google or ranking on YouTube. But the reality is that you're not having to worry about 20, 30, 40 different moving parts that the vendor has to worry about. For you, it's typically like 10 or 15 moving parts or less. So with that said, let's move on to video number 4 and talk about the disadvantages. Hello and welcome to video number 4, and we're going to talk about the disadvantages of affiliate marketing. So as you already know, affiliate marketing is based upon promoting other people's products, right? So that in itself says that you have no control over the vendor or the product itself. So in certain respects, your business is in the hands of the vendor as far as promoting the products. But now that you understand that, you need to do things like building your email list, which is very basic. But if you do that, it doesn't matter if somebody takes it down. You can always switch it to a different vendor, a different product, or a similar product in that niche. And that's the beauty of affiliate marketing as long as you're building a list. Back in the day, like decades ago, I remember when we would promote a product, we would send traffic directly to the vendor's product, and then we'll make sales. But then we found out, typically weeks later, that we were sending traffic to an offer that didn't exist, or the vendor just decided to take the product down without ever telling us. And this is something that happens day in and day out. A lot of times there's a lack of communication between you and the vendor. Having an email, that in itself can be an advantage, but it can also be a scary thing at times, especially if you have a product that's a really good product, you're making a lot of money, and the vendor just decides to quit, right? So that's why in that case, there are other things that you can do, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So having an email list can be an advantage, but if the vendor takes that down their product, that alone can be a scary thing at times. So you're kind of living on the edge. But that's why I said, if that's you and that's your perspective and that's your expectation of what's real and what's not, then it's not going to become a surprise when that happens. But I will tell you that happens a lot. So let me put this in perspective. Vendors come and go. That's the nature of how things go. In the last decade of being an affiliate marketer, I've seen hundreds of vendors come and go. And a lot of times vendors, they'll get into these ruts where they'll create totally brand new products. Like, for example, one vendor often will create 10 to 20 different products every single year. And if you think about how many vendors there are, you could find 10 really good vendors. One of those products eventually will become outdated, right? So if that's the expectation that you have, then great. You are now aware, and you're aware of something that not a lot of affiliates are aware of. So that means that affiliate marketing often has a short-term cash flow for each product. So making as much as you can during that short-term period of time is key. But at the same time, that's why I say you got to build your list. If you don't build a list, you're building an affiliate marketing business that will fail. Not if it will fail, it will fail. So in other words, if you've worked really hard to produce a winning campaign, you're either going to need to find a new vendor to replace the old if that ever happens. So you need to make sure that you have a backup plan, or you need to work out a special deal with them, assuming you've made them a lot of sales, and say, hey, I've made a lot of sales for you. I put a lot of time and effort into this. How can we make a deal? Maybe you can make a special deal just for my list. Or maybe they're going out of business and you can just buy the whole business if it's making you a lot of money. So there's a lot of different avenues that you can take. Don't quit. Just think about the possible solution that there potentially is. And if not, you have to get into that mindset of letting go if there is no option. And this is why there is so much hustle involved, and it's more of a short-term strategy than a long-term strategy. So what are lessons that you can learn before you get started? Well, when you promote a product, you want to ask yourself a few things. So ask yourself this. Number one, are there similar vendors? Are there similar products with affiliate programs? So if you find a product that you really like and you promote it and it does really, really well, at that point, and only at that point, begin to look for products that are similar, and then approach other vendors, and you could possibly promote those products to your list and say, hey, you've bought this product, or I've showed this product, but here's a similar product. Check it out and see which one converts the best. But while you're doing that, you're going to have a backup plan. It's even better if there's 2, 3, 4 different products, different vendors. You can figure out which vendor is really willing to work with you and which vendor is not willing to work with you. Another thing we found over the years is that vendors that are willing to bend over backwards and work with you, oftentimes you're going to be able to make more money doing that. Vendors that weren't really open to working with us a lot of times ended up being very, very small campaigns. Yes, they made a little bit of amount of money, but not a lot. So typically you want to find at least, like I said, 3 or more really good products, so that if one vendor takes their product down or they go bankrupt, you always have that backup plan. And that's really why I'm harping on this, because we've been in situations in the past where we promoted one particular product. We've been really excited about how much profit it was pulling in, and bam, vendor takes the product down, or they disappear totally, and there's no other products. So in that case, you could see it as we lost all the time and effort that we put into it. Or you could see it as a lesson to make sure that you have a backup plan. Now, if this happens to you, you need to ask yourself a second question, which is, if there is none, is this a product that you can hire somebody else to produce and you becoming the vendor? Because if you can do that, you'll actually make a lot of more money. You already got traffic flowing to the product, and then you not only do you get a cut, you get the whole cut, because now you're the vendor. So that's more of a long-term strategy that you can take. But the question is, how willing are you to put all the effort into that? Because being a vendor does take a lot of energy and time. But at the end of the day, your long-term business is going to stretch further, and your profit margins are going to be a lot higher. So that said, it's often better to have a long-term strategy, to have a mixture of both your products and products that you promote as an affiliate. And that way you're not hustling all the time. Hello and welcome to video number 5. And in this particular video, we're going to talk about types of affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing actually covers a wide variety of different payment structures, different structures in general. And what I want to do in this particular video is talk about briefly about each type. And then what I want to do is give you some examples, real life examples, and websites that you can actually go to and find products and services that you can promote and get a cut of revenue based on that type of affiliate marketing. Now, compensation can also vary depending on the product itself. So let's talk about the first type. The first type is pay per sale. This is actually very, very common, and most affiliate programs cover pay per sale. And all this means is that you get paid every single time somebody purchases a product or a service. So let's say, for example, that somebody is selling a piece of software. If it's a monthly product, that is $100 per month. And let's say, for example, that you get 50%, you're going to get $50 per month per sale. Now, I like recurring products because once you have referred somebody and you've worked hard to do that, if that product has a good retention rate, meaning how long that person will stay in that membership site, let's say, for example, the average retention rate is 2 years. If I refer that person and they stay for 2 years, that's 50 times 24. So 50 times, for example, 12 is 60. That would be $600. So I'm getting $600 a year, ultimately getting $1,200 2 years. And knowing that they have a good stick rate and knowing that the vendor actually cares and takes care of their customers, that's why it's so crucial in finding good vendors. But knowing that, I know that I can spend a couple $100s just to acquire that customer or pre-sale that customer. So that's pay per sale. It also can be a one-time product where somebody buys a video course for $20 and you get 50% of that, and that's that. So the majority of affiliate programs are based on this particular payment structure. The second type is pay per click. This means that you basically get paid every time somebody clicks a link, meaning let's say you send 1,000 people and out of 1,000 people, 100 people click. And the vendor says, okay, so for every click that you send, I will give you $1. So if you, out of 1,000, you get 100 clicks, that's $100, right? Now this isn't as popular, but it's out there. So I just want you to be aware of it. Now, the third type is pay per lead. In this case, you're sending traffic, and if a prospect fills out a form or they fill out some sort of requirement, like they fill out their zip code, for example, or they fill out the whole form, you might get payment for that action. So essentially, pay per lead is whenever somebody fills out a form, becomes a lead essentially, or does a specific action. Now this often times is also called cost per action, or CPA in short. There are tons of networks out there where you can find a lot of these: pay per lead, pay per action, fill out a form, or even the second type, which is similar, which is pay per call. The fourth type, which is in relation to the pay per lead, is pay per call. And this is a CPA structure as well. And what this means is that based on the requirement, if somebody calls on the phone via a special number that they give you, and they meet the requirements, such as they call and they're on the phone for 15 minutes, you might get $30 for that call. Or they call and they give their name and phone number, you might get a certain amount of fee. So they're not really buying anything, they're just taking action. But the vendors that are getting these leads, they know well enough that, okay, if they get this lead, that lead is most likely going to convert into whatever sales. So oftentimes they're willing to often pay $30, $40, $50 per lead. And that's pay per call. Now that you understand the different types of affiliate marketing, let's discuss different sites that you can go to find these deals. So let me go ahead and go to my browser and let me show you now. So as far as websites that you can go to find products to promote as an affiliate, as far as the info products go for the pay per sale, jvzoo.com is a good site to go to. Let me show you the address bar here. That's jvzoo.com right here. So jvzoo.com. This is a great place to sign up as an affiliate, and it will give you the actual stats on how the product is selling, and all that. So you'll need to come here, sign up as an affiliate right here, JVZoo affiliate, and then you'll be able to find products. It'll tell you the refund rate and all that. That's another thing you want to look for, is the refund rate. If a vendor has like a 10% refund rate or even a 20% refund rate, you might want to steer clear of those vendors. Another site is clickbank.com. That's clickbank.com. And clickbank.com also covers a lot of info products, but they tend to cover a lot of niche based info products. So if we click on affiliate marketplace here as an example, you will see a lot of different niches, not just internet marketing or online business, but you'll find other things like computers, cooking, diets, games, politics, parenting, everything that you can think of. So that would be the pay per sale. Now, there's a lot of pay per sale in terms of physical products as well. You can do Amazon.com and get like a 4% commission. And you can look into AliExpress as well for the e-commerce type physical products. But as far as that goes, those are the popular sites. Now, you can actually make more money as an affiliate to info products. Now, when it comes to something like pay-per-click, there's not really any companies that we have tested and recommend, but you can go to Google, you can type in get paid per click, and make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you research beforehand. But there are some companies out there that will pay you per click, but a lot of times it's not a lot of money. It's like a few cents for every clicks. So that's not really what I would recommend as an ideal situation to make money. Usually the pay per sales, better pay per lead is also good as well. So as far as the pay per lead or pay per call, maxbounty.com is one of the top CPA networks, and that's maxbounty.com. There are tons of other CPA networks out there as well that you can make money with, but at this time, maxbounty.com is the one that we've actually used and tested. Another one, which is pay per call, would be ringpartner.com. That's ringpartner.com. And that's it. Hello and welcome to video number 6. We're going to talk about reviewing the product. Obviously, before you can promote the product, you need to review it. And before you get up and say, well, why are we even covering this? Isn't this common sense? It is, but to an extent, it's not. Because what it's going to reveal to you are advanced strategies and things that 99% of the affiliate population just aren't doing. And because they aren't doing this, this is your advantage. Now, what we found over the years of testing many different products over the last decade and a half, literally over 500 different products that we promoted over the years, tested, reviewed, and all that, we found that the majority of affiliates out there do not test the product. They just go ahead and promote the product, which is riddled with bugs. Now, that's not to say that every product is going to have bugs. We've tested products out and it worked really well. And then when it launched, customers would find bugs. That's the reality. But in doing so, we've noticed a pattern, and that pattern is that the majority of people don't review. And not only is that unethical, it'll actually hurt your reputation. And if this is a long-term business and you've built an email list of subscribers, you want to make sure that you're honest and direct with them, right? So by testing the product, it is actually an advantage to you, because by knowing the ins and outs of it, it'll actually help you not only in the area of gaining trust from your future fans and more importantly, getting them to buy, but it's also going to help you create an incentivized bonus. So if you take a look at a product and you find that, let's say that it is weak in a certain area, then you can fill that area where it's weak and turn that into a bonus. Does that make sense? So if you look at a sales page and you feel like, man, this is weak because of this area, like maybe the training is weak, then you could fill that gap. And we'll talk more about that in the incentivized bonus video, but that's a way of creating a bonus. And that's why if you review the product, you will know that. If you don't review the product, you'll never know that. You'll just use a bonus and slap things together that may not really make sense. And then when somebody buys through your affiliate link, they're going to say, why is this even here? And they're not going to buy from you in the future. But if you put together a good bonus that fills in a gap and a weakness that's very obvious, and they buy it, have a good experience, and they realize that you have filled that gap, they're more inclined to actually buy from you, if that makes sense. So, because the fact is that other affiliates aren't reviewing it, and that's 90% of the affiliate population, if you do that, you will actually stand out. Now, sometimes you can get the product for free and review it, but that's not really going to happen unless you have a prior relationship with the vendor, or typically you've made them a lot of sales in the past. If that happens, great. If that doesn't happen, that's fine too, because you can buy it, show people that you've bought it, and see it as an investment. So invest in it, review it, and if you really love it, and like the ins and outs of it, the features and all that, you're more likely to create a review that sparkles. And it's because it becomes something that you're passionate about, right? So like I said, purchase the product first, or ask the vendor to give it to you or whatever, test it out, and try to pinpoint areas of weaknesses and strengths, and then jot it down on a piece of paper. So write it down. All the products have weaknesses. I don't care what product it is. Every single product has a weakness. So as long as the strengths outweighs the weaknesses and the product works, of course, you can make sure that you list these out so that you can discuss them in your review videos and your review pages. Now, this will actually help you when it comes time to create your incentivized bonus, which we'll discuss in the next video. And that is going to be an advanced strategy. So up until this point, we've covered all the basics, and we'll talk about some more advanced strategies in video number 7 and in video number 8. Welcome to video number 7. This is an advanced strategy, and this is incentivized bonuses. In other words, if you want to know how the super affiliates make a lot of money with affiliate marketing, it really comes down to what we call incentivized bonuses. So when it comes to affiliate marketing, the downside is one really good product is going to have tons of affiliates, sometimes thousands of affiliates. So the question is, how do you stand out, and how do you compete against hundreds or even thousands of affiliates promoting that same product? And a lot of them might have incentivized bonuses, but if you have the best incentivized bonus, you will win. Now, the key is to realize that if the market is big enough, who cares how many affiliates there are? In fact, we have moved into markets as a very small marketer compared to a lot of big marketers, and realized that, wow, like we actually got on the top 10 compared to these people who have big lists of millions of people. But at the end of the day, when we analyzed out of the 10 people, or the people on the top 10, we would analyze them and find that a lot of them would slap together just random bonuses. So that's why I'm saying here, it doesn't matter how big you are. At the end of the day, as long as you have a really good bonus, that's key. So that's how you compete with hundreds or even thousands of affiliates. So the best way of approaching this is by offering an incentivized bonus, which means you're telling prospects, hey, if you buy through my affiliate link, you will get this bonus that fits the weakness of this product for free, right? So who's not going to want to buy a product and get a bonus for free that is going to fill the gap, right? So you want to make sure that you're transparent about this. Let them know, review the product, and then let them know the weakness and why your bonus fills the gap so that they can make the best informed decision. And I can't tell you how much this will help you. This is going to help you a lot. In fact, I'm going to show you how to go about doing this in just a few minutes. So in other words, they could either buy the product directly and that's it, and they don't get the bonus, or they could buy through your affiliate link, get the product, but also get whatever additional bonuses that you are attaching to that product. I mean, if you think about the prospect, the buyer, which one are they going to choose? Obviously, the latter, right? They're going to want to choose the product and get the free bonus along with it. They're not going to want to just buy the product itself, right? I can't tell you how many times a lot of people have bought the product and came back and said, I wish I knew about your bonus, right? Plus, realize this, like I said earlier, as super affiliates, we've come to the realization that most people really don't review the product rigorously. They might look at it, glance at it, but they don't review it rigorously. And thus, they come out with bonuses that really don't convert or really have nothing to do with the actual product itself. But because now you know the secret sauce, now you know that a very small percentage of people actually do this, this is something that you can actually do. So you need to buy the product, you need to test the product out, you need to find the weaknesses and be transparent about them. Now, people who buy from you will ultimately love you. You might only get a few in the beginning, but they're going to love you. They're going to come back. They're going to buy similar products through your affiliate link. And that's the goal is, yeah, you might maybe only make 10 or 20 now, but those 10 or 20 may really like your bonus to the point that they're going to come back, right? Your goal is not just to make a one-off sale and that's it. Your long-term strategy is to build a list, build a relationship with that list, sell products that are really good, that are attached with really good bonuses so that time and time again, they're going to come back, right? So let me give you an example here. Let's say, for example, that a product is a piece of software. And this is something that we personally have done. So we have a piece of software, we look at the software, we review the software, we find that the software is actually very hard to use. So we look and we find that the software has zero training. So guess what? The weakness in this case is that the software lacks training. So what you could do in this case is create a training course that helps people who bought the software better understand how to use it and how to use it more effectively. Now, the key here is to realize that in this case, obviously, you would have to spend sometimes days or even weeks learning the software in and out. But at the end of the day, you will have something no other affiliate really wants to do, which is spend a week reviewing the software and figuring it out yourself. So I found that market tends to be untapped typically because nobody wants to spend that amount of time, and software can be very tedious to learn as well. So can you imagine who will make more sales? Exactly my point. Does that make sense as to why this is so powerful? So this is one little tip that has made us a lot of money. So make sure that you use this to your advantage. So congratulations, you have reached the end of this course. This is going to be the last video, and this last video will be video number 8, and this is going to be an advanced strategy to help you essentially make more money. So this is going from the short-term affiliate strategy to a long-term private deal strategy. So essentially you're moving from affiliate to a long-term deal. And this is extremely profitable if you generate enough sales for the vendor. So number one, you can contact them to get a higher percentage of commission. Say for example that you've generated them 100 sales or more. You could go to them and say, hey, I've generated you hundreds of sales. Would you be interested in increasing my commission from 50% to 10%? A lot of times vendors, especially for products where they don't have a huge overhead, they're willing to often go up to 75%. Some of them are going to even go further than that as well. Some of them will stick to the bottom if it's software. Software is another thing. A lot of times they'll stick at 50%, and it's harder for them to move up because they have a higher overhead with having to hire programmers and all of that. But keep that in mind, you can always work out a very private special deal where maybe they offer something to your list, something like an incentivized bonus. So for example, maybe the vendor can offer a special bonus such as a product that they normally sell for free for your customers because they know that you're already making sales for them. Naturally, as a vendor, they're going to want to make more sales for you because it makes more sales for them, right? So they know in a way that whatever you're doing, traffic wise or conversion wise, it's working. It should be in their best interest to bend over backwards and work with you to help you make as many sales for them, right? So that's why this can move from a short-term strategy to a long-term strategy. So I would do that. I would say, hey, do you have an incentivized bonus that you can offer my list? Or do you have a product that you're normally selling that you could offer my list for free? And we've done that, and many vendors have opened up and said, hey, no problem, no big deal. Now, we have had a few vendors that have said no, and normally those are harder to deal with. But the ones that usually have your best interests in their mind, they normally should bend over backwards. That should be a normal thing. But that is, of course, only if you brought them 100 or more sales. Don't expect that if you haven't brought any sales or if you've only brought a couple sales. Only expect that if it's brought, a few hundred sales. And when you're at that point, it makes sense to move to a long-term kind of venture. Now, oftentimes we found that a good vendor is the difference between pennies and thousands of dollars earned. So in other words, if the vendor is willing to work with you, that is usually a win-win situation. So hindsight 2020, looking back, a lot of times we found that the vendors that were easy to work with and that were willing to work with us, we made a lot more money with them. The ones that were not willing to work with us, not willing to offer exclusive bonuses, the vendors that were lazy or just didn't want to do anything, a lot of times that those promos would just become stagnant and they wouldn't go anywhere. So that's a nice little tip if you're a vendor watching this. Make sure that you support your affiliates as much as you can. And especially affiliates that are doing well, reach out to them. Say, hey, what can I do to help you, kind of thing. They don't budge. Usually what we do is we go to their competition. We show their competition, hey, we've made 100 sales for your competition. Do you have an affiliate program and would you be willing to work with us? Most of the time they would say yes. So that's just something to think about, that there's always avenues that you could take. There's always going to be roadblocks and there's always going to be avenues and solutions that you can take. You just have to be willing to look for them. So that's the strategy that we would use, those two strategies at the very end on video 7, video number 8. And those will typically help you be the literal 10% of affiliates, because the 99 or 90% of the affiliates aren't doing videos 6, 8, 7, or 8. So I hope you enjoyed that video course. I know that was basic with some advanced strategies, and maybe at another time we'll talk about more advanced affiliate marketing strategies. So with that said, go ahead and make sure that you take some action.